All right, so you guys wanted us to go deep on this Katt Williams interview.
Yeah.
And wow, there's a lot to unpack here. I mean, this isn't just your typical celebrity chit-chat.
No, not at all. This is Katt Williams like we've never heard him before.
Right, like it's deep, man.
Yeah.
Deep thoughts about life, about comedy, about what he calls heaven on earth, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really refreshing, honestly, to hear a comedian talk about more than just jokes.
Yeah.
And it seems like Williams really believes that comedy should have like a message.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
It can be a vehicle for like learning and growth, not just entertainment.
Right. And he's not just up there delivering a monologue, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He actually talks about his tours as like a continuation of a conversation with his fan base.
Yeah.
He wants to create genuine connections, not just, get laughs.
And you can see how much he values that. I mean, like in everything, like just that originality and authenticity.
Yeah.
Not just in himself, but in the people he surrounds himself with.
Yeah.
He even mentioned being very particular about who he chooses as his opening acts,
Yeah.
Like looking for people who bring something fresh to the table and can truly connect with the audience.
Okay, so we have to talk about this whole heaven on earth thing because Williams doesn't shy away from discussing his belief in both a literal heaven
Right.
and finding joy here and now, like both.
Yeah. And he does have that, really funny anecdote about growing up in a Black church.
Yes.
And realizing that heaven must be incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
Which wasn't exactly reflected in the imagery he was seeing at the time.
Yeah, he even jokes that heaven would be the only place where white people are a minority.
Yeah.
Which, it's a bold statement.
Right.
Makes you think about traditional views of heaven and how they might not reflect the reality of human diversity.
Totally. And, it's interesting how he connects the idea of heaven to finding happiness on earth.
Yeah.
Like he observes that a lot of wealthy people, even with all their possessions, still struggle to find joy.
Right.
Which he contrasts with, the excitement of having goals and experiences to look forward to.
Yeah, I like that. He also has this, and this is kind of a mind-blowing idea.
Yeah.
That time might be a made-up concept.
Whoa.
Right? Like, think about it.
That's huge.
If we let go of the constraints of time,
right,
wouldn't that change our whole approach to life, our goals, our sense of urgency?
It would change everything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would we be more motivated or less?
I don't know. It's a fascinating thought experiment.
Totally.
He also has this interesting take on nervousness.
Okay.
Where he sees it not as a stop sign, but as a cautionary signal, right?
It's interesting.
Like it's urging us to push through discomfort and use that nervous energy as fuel for growth.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he talks about pushing boundaries, facing fears. And then we get to this whole thing about his strong aversion to water.
Yeah.
Like, who knew?
Right. You wouldn't expect that.
And it seems to stem from childhood experiences and a deep respect for its power,
Right.
It's like there's this hilarious moment where, Theo Vaughn, the interviewer, he's like, hey, man, you'd be great at like a SeaWorld type show. And Williams immediately replies, nah, man, I'd free all the animals.
Classic Katt Williams.
Classic Katt Williams.
Oh.
Turning a personal fear into a message about freedom and challenging the status quo.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about him. It's like he finds humor even in these unexpected places.
Absolutely.
Speaking of unexpected,
who
knew Katt Williams was such an avid reader? Like, the man loves books.
That's cool.
And he talks about eating information from a young age.
Oh, wow.
Using books as a source of knowledge and escape.
I mean, it is intriguing to think about his lifelong love of reading.
Yeah.
Starting with the Bible, but expanding to classic novels and mysteries.
Yeah.
How that might have shaped his comedic voice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then he drops this bomb.
Yeah.
He bought the former Fort McClellan military base.
Wait, what?
I know, right?
Seriously?
We're talking 30 buildings, over 3 million square feet of indoor space.
That's insane.
Insane. And he's got this ambitious vision to create like a haven for producing high-quality movies.
Wow.
Entertainment, free from what he calls Hollywood's shenanigans.
So he wants to, build his own thing completely separate.
Exactly. Exactly. He wants to build a platform for diverse talent, particularly in comedy.
Yeah.
Where he sees a lack of opportunity. And he's especially critical,
Yeah.
of the oversaturation of superhero and action films.
Right.
Suggesting that he wants to create something more grounded, more relatable.
And hilarious, of course.
And hilarious, of course. And, it's a bold move, going against the grain like that.
Definitely.
But it seems like Williams is all about creating his own path.
Totally.
And empowering others to do the same.
Absolutely.
And that leads us to another interesting thread.
Okay.
His belief that everything is controlled and regulated. And he's talking about everything. Hollywood, politics, science.
Like big picture stuff.
Big picture.
Yeah.
And, you know, he even acknowledges the advancements in animal cloning.
Yeah.
Organ transplantation.
Right.
Which leads to a conversation about the possibility of human cloning.
Which is kind of terrifying.
Yeah, a little bit. He's not saying it's definitely happening.
Right.
But he's prompting us to think about these technologies.
And that's the implications.
Exactly, where they might lead.
And then Theo Von throws out this theory about celebrities being compromised.
Oh, boy.
Right? And Williams doesn't deny it.
What?
Saying it happens in every field, not just entertainment.
Oh, wow.
He even mentions an encounter with Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, no.
Further illustrating the prevalence of these kinds of situations.
That's scary. It's a chilling reminder that, you know, success often comes at a price.
Yeah.
Staying true to your values can be a constant battle. It's a tough world out there. He also touches on the FBI and CIA.
Okay.
Stating that they're very effective at their jobs.
Right.
Files exist on individuals, himself included.
Wow.
Highlighting their extensive reach and influence.
It makes you think about, you know, security versus privacy in our modern world.
Yeah.
How much control do we actually have
over
our own lives?
And then he introduces this concept of the age of truth.
The age of truth, okay.
Time where truth is more valuable than lies.
Interesting.
And he connects this to his interest in the Book of Revelations.
Okay.
Which he sees as a metaphorical rundown of events leading up to the last days.
That's a fascinating lens.
Isn't it?
Through which to view current events, yeah.
He even points to the formation of the United Nations and the ongoing wars around the world.
Right.
As examples of biblical prophecies coming to fruition.
It's unnerving.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
But also, you know, a thought-provoking. Like, we're witnessing a pivotal moment in human history.
And this belief in a coming era of truth seems to tie in with Williams's personal faith.
Right.
He talks about communicating with God multiple times a day through prayer.
Yeah.
Seeking guidance and expressing gratitude. He even credits this connection with a sense of protection and purpose in his life.
Yeah, that's powerful.
And then just when you think the conversation couldn't get any more unpredictable, he shifts gears.
Okay.
And starts talking about the animals on his ranch.
Oh, the animals.
Mini cows, pigs, geese.
Oh, right. He does have all those animals.
And of course, his beloved ducks.
Yeah.
He even jokes about wanting more black ducks in the world.
Yeah.
Which is both hilarious and kind of a subtle statement.
Right.
About the importance of diversity.
Even in the animal kingdoms.
Even in the animal kingdom.
It's fascinating how he uses humor to address serious topics.
Yeah.
Making you laugh while also prompting you to think about, you know, representation and inclusivity in a broader context.
And he wraps up this part of the conversation with reflections on Native Americans.
Okay.
Acknowledging their deep connection to the land and the resilience.
Yeah.
In the face of historical adversity.
It's a fitting end to a discussion that touches on history, spirituality, and the power of connection.
It really is.
Wow.
That was quite a ride through just the first part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
Into the mind of Katt Williams.
Yeah.
Stay tuned because there's so much more to unpack.
Oh, I can't wait. All right, welcome back to our deep dive into the world of Katt Williams.
It's kind of amazing how Williams can go from discussing like the complexities of reincarnation to like the joys of goat meat.
Yeah.
And somehow make it all sound profound.
That's his gift, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
It's like he finds those unexpected connections between, you know, seemingly like disparate ideas and leaves you feeling both, you know, entertained and enlightened.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, something that keeps coming up for me is this idea of heaven on earth.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of curious, like, what does that actually mean to you?
It is a powerful concept. I think it suggests like this deliberate effort to cultivate joy and fulfillment and purpose in our lives, regardless of our external circumstances, you know?
And he talks about like surrounding himself with things that bring him joy.
Right.
Whether it's spending time with loved ones, connecting with nature, pursuing creative endeavors.
Yeah, making choices that that like align with our values and priorities.
Yes, exactly.
So creating a life that feels authentic and meaningful.
And he even uses the example of his ranch. You know, like he describes it as a sanctuary.
Yeah.
A place where he can escape the pressures of the world.
Reconnect with what matters. Yeah.
Reconnect. Yeah.
It's that reminder that we all need those spaces.
Yes.
Where we can recharge, find inspiration, nurture our souls.
And we can't forget, you know, his passion for comedy. It's so clear that making people laugh is a source of like immense joy and fulfillment for him.
Yeah. And what's inspiring is his commitment to using his platform.
Yeah.
To, you know, amplify diverse voices.
Yes.
Challenge the status quo.
Yeah. He's not afraid to push those boundaries.
No, he's not.
To make people uncomfortable, to speak truth to power.
Right.
Even if it means, you know, ruffling a few feathers.
Definitely.
Speaking of truth.
Okay.
Let's revisit Williams' belief in the age of truth.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to suggest, like, we're entering a time where honesty and authenticity will be like more valued than ever before.
It's like he's sensing this societal shift, you know, this hunger for something real in a world that's often dominated by like spin and manipulation.
Yes, he even links this concept to the book of Revelation, suggesting that like a lot of the events described in that ancient text are coming to fruition in our modern world.
I mean, that's a bold claim.
It is a bold claim.
But it does make you think about, you know, the cyclical nature of history and the potential for spiritual transformation on a global scale.
Yeah. He even, like, you know, points to the formation of the United Nations as like a fulfillment of the prophecy about nations coming together.
In the end times.
In the end times, right. He also sees, like, you know, the ongoing wars around the world as evidence of this shift, like framing them as fulfillments of biblical prophecies.
It's a bit unnerving.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
But also, you know, intriguing. Like we're witnessing this pivotal moment in human history.
And then there's his personal relationship with God.
Right.
You know, he talks about communicating with God multiple times a day through prayer, seeking guidance, expressing gratitude. He even credits this connection with like a sense of protection and purpose in his life.
It's powerful. And while he emphasizes the positive impact of faith, it's worth noting that, you know, not everyone finds comfort or meaning in organized religion.
Of course,
Some people find spirituality in different ways. Through nature or art or human connection.
Right.
The important thing is to find what resonates with you.
Totally.
And what helps you, you know, navigate life's challenges.
That reminds me of that exchange with Theo Von about strengthening his own spiritual practice.
Yeah.
It shows that we all have, you know, our own journeys to navigate.
Right.
And sometimes a little reflection or connection to something bigger than ourselves can make all the difference.
Absolutely. And Williams, you know, doesn't shy away from discussing his faith.
No, he doesn't.
He encourages others to, you know, seek their own path to connection and meaning.
He also emphasizes the importance of communication.
Yeah.
Not just with God, but in all relationships.
Yeah.
And he tells this like interesting story about this encounter with a black lady at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
Who left.
Yeah.
Like this lasting impression on him.
Oh, wow.
He describes her as, you know, confident, with a beautiful smile, kind eyes.
Right.
He even jokes about how he'd be open to dating a cool black lady. Highlighting, you know, her work ethic and strength.
It might seem like a lighthearted moment, but it does underscore, like, Williams's respect and admiration for black women.
Yeah.
He goes on to describe black women as these, you know, magnificent creatures.
Right.
Emphasizing, like, their resilience, their nurturing nature, their ability to overcome adversity.
Yeah.
It's a powerful tribute, you know?
Yes.
Recognizing their historical and cultural significance.
Yes.
Especially in the face of, you know, systemic oppression.
And then there's his perspective on fatherhood.
Okay.
And he admits that he wasn't fully prepared for the challenges of parenthood.
It's tough.
But he also acknowledges the profound impact it's had on his life.
Yeah.
He talks about the sacrifices, the sleepless nights, but also the immense joy and love that come with raising a child.
Right.
And he even, you know, offers some advice to Theo Von, suggesting that having a child can help overcome addiction. Because, like, the responsibility and the love for a child often outweigh, like, the allure of drugs.
Yeah, that's a poignant observation. But, you know, it's important to note that parenthood is a deeply personal experience.
Of course. Yeah.
And what works for one person may not work for another.
Of course, yeah.
There's no, you know, one-size-fits-all solution to addiction.
Right. It's all about finding what works best for each individual.